At approximately 8:14 a.m. on November 21st, 2025, Trooper Loftus was patrolling southbound on Interstate 430 near the 1-mile marker when he was notified that the Little Rock Police Department was pursuing a vehicle near Stagecoach Road and Crystal Valley Road, requesting assistance from the Arkansas State Police. Moments later, Trooper Loftus observed the suspect vehicle traveling east on Crystal Valley Road toward Stagecoach. He immediately joined the pursuit and assumed the primary position.
1037 at 8:15. Put your hands up! Hands up! Open the door! Hands up! Open the door! Push it! Push it! Third final with Stagecoach before baseline. Adam 15 Little Rock. We got our 1015, 1064. We're right in front of Fire Station 24 on Stagecoach. 10-4. Put our troop aim as 1064. Resume normal traffic at 8:16. One suspect 1015.
At about 7:54 a.m. on November 21st, 2025, Trooper Greeno was stationary conducting traffic enforcement when he spotted a vehicle speeding past at roughly 80 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. He pulled out, activated his emergency lights, and attempted a traffic stop. Instead of complying, the driver accelerated, immediately initiating a pursuit.
1037. Passing the wrong lanes. Southbound. North or southbound, 1030. South, coming up on red light. 7. Off direct, Silverfield. 3430, I'm getting on at the 97. Y'all heading towards Glenrose. Coming in the Malvern. Breaking out. Copy, right there. On your face!
After sharply swerving to avoid another vehicle, the fleeing car skidded out of control, slid across the roadway, and crashed into a ditch. The driver immediately bailed out and ran into the woods, but was captured after a short foot chase. Fortunately, no serious injuries or significant property damage resulted from the pursuit. At approximately 10:35 p.m. on November 23rd, 2025, Trooper Garrison was notified by Troop A Dispatch that the North Little Rock Police Department was pursuing a stolen white Chrysler 300 traveling south on Interstate 57 near the 1-mile marker. Trooper Garrison positioned himself on Interstate 40 westbound near mile marker 155 and took over as the primary unit, with Trooper First Class Niles assuming the secondary position and providing radio updates. The suspect vehicle continued westbound on I-40 at roughly 120 miles per hour through moderate traffic. When traffic cleared, Trooper Garrison executed a successful pit maneuver, causing the Chrysler to spin out and crash into the concrete barrier on the north side of the interstate. Trooper Niles positioned his patrol car in front of the suspect vehicle, boxing it in and bringing the pursuit to a full stop. The driver jumped out and attempted to flee on foot, but was captured moments later. The passenger complied and was taken into custody without incident. A search of the Chrysler revealed 3 firearms. Investigators later confirmed the car was wanted in connection with an ongoing homicide case being handled by the Little Rock Police Department. At around 1 p.m. on November 20th, 2025, Trooper Long was traveling south on Highway 289 when he spotted a maroon Ford Escape speeding at 71 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. He immediately turned around and attempted a traffic stop. Despite the patrol car's emergency lights and siren running at full blast, the Ford Escape continued northbound and refused to pull over. Although Trooper Long repeatedly issued verbal commands for the driver to stop, she ignored every order. To bring the situation to a safe end, Trooper Long performed a controlled containment maneuver, positioning his patrol unit alongside the Ford Escape and guiding it toward the shoulder. The vehicle came to a complete stop without further incident, and the driver surrendered peacefully. During the encounter, the driver showed clear signs of impairment: slurred speech, poor coordination, and erratic behavior. She repeatedly stated, "I have 4 to 8 ounces of meth in my pants." After being transported to the county jail, a female corrections officer conducted a search and found no drugs in her possession.
Okay. How much have you had to drink?
At about 3:05 p.m. on November 21st, 2025, Trooper Jason Weston encountered a motorcycle on a rural roadway in Garland County. When he ordered the rider to stop, the motorcyclist ignored the commands and continued forward, prompting Trooper Weston to initiate a pursuit. After a brief pursuit, the rider lost control and tipped the bike at a slow speed. He immediately fled on foot, but eventually turned back, surrendered, and was taken into custody without further incident.
Do it now!
At approximately 10:01 p.m. on November 22, 2025, Trooper Justin Parrish was conducting a routine traffic stop along a rural roadway in eastern Arkansas when a Lexus sedan suddenly sped past his patrol unit at a dangerously high speed. Recognizing the threat to public safety and the severity of the driver's behavior, Trooper Parrish immediately disengaged from the stop, returned to his vehicle, and accelerated after the Lexus. After a brief pursuit, the driver lost control, causing the Lexus to spin several times across the roadway before veering into a patch of brush. The driver then complied with Trooper Parrish's commands and was taken into custody without further incident. A records check later revealed that the driver's license had been suspended, the reason he admitted to fleeing. At approximately 10:39 p.m. on November 22, 2025, Trooper Kyle Sheldon was patrolling on Jump Road when he spotted a motorcycle approaching from the opposite direction at a high rate of speed. Trooper Sheldon activated his emergency lights and began to pursue. The rider glanced back at the patrol unit once the lights came on, but continued forward, refusing to stop.
Show me your fucking hands! Show me your hands! Get on the ground! Turn over!
Shit!
Turn over!
I didn't mean to.
Turn over!
I didn't mean to.
Put your face on the ground.
I'm sorry, bro.
I will get you an ambulance.
No, I don't need one.
Put your hands behind your
I wasn't
back.
trying to run from you.
You did run from me. Put your hands behind your back.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Stay just like that.
Yes, sir.
Don't move. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Stand by.
Oh, shit. I didn't know you was hot.
With the flashing blue lights?
I didn't see you.
You look right back at me, man.
I was being fucking stupid.
I know.
At approximately 11:30 p.m. on November 18, 2025, Trooper Haney was parked roadside conducting traffic enforcement when he spotted a motorcycle approaching at more than 100 miles per hour. He activated his emergency lights to initiate a stop, but the rider blew past without acknowledging the patrol unit. Trooper Haney immediately accelerated after the motorcycle and notified dispatch that a pursuit was underway.
gonna stop. Pull over. Pull over. Pull the bike over. Pull over now before I put you in the ditch. Pull over. Pull over now. Shut the bike off and get off. Shut the bike off. Face down on the ground before I put you on the ground. Now!
After several loudspeaker commands, the rider finally pulled over and was taken into custody without further incident. During the arrest, the rider appeared remorseful and admitted he had been drinking before getting on the motorcycle. Trooper Haney also recovered 2 open liquor bottles that had fallen from the rider during the arrest. At around 3 p.m. on November 5, 2025, Sergeant J. Preston was patrolling northbound on I-530 near the 23-mile marker when a white passenger car passed him in the left lane. As it went by, he noticed the driver immediately accelerate, quickly widening the gap between the vehicles. Sergeant Preston continued to monitor the car until it reached roughly 200 yards ahead, then activated his radar, which registered the vehicle at 122 miles per hour in a 75 miles per hour zone. He attempted to close the distance discreetly before activating his emergency equipment, but the driver continued accelerating. Second radar reading showed the vehicle accelerating to 128 miles per hour. As they approached the Jefferson-Grant County line, Sergeant Preston activated his emergency lights and siren and notified Troop E that he was in pursuit, which was then transferred to Troop A based on the direction of travel. The driver began weaving aggressively through traffic, cutting across lanes, squeezing between vehicles, and even using the far left lane to pass as Sergeant Preston worked to close the distance.
Stopping just out of the exit ramp to go northbound. Stand by.
The pursuit continued northbound until the driver finally pulled over. The driver, later identified as Trayvon Honorable, along with 2 passengers, complied and were taken into custody without further incident. Trooper Zamora arrived to assist, and all 3 occupants were handcuffed and detained. Due to the strong odor of burnt marijuana, a probable cause search was conducted. Troopers located several new and used cigar wrappers, loose tobacco, and small marijuana fragments on the center console. No additional contraband was found.
What's going on? I don't know what's going on. They got guns on there. You pulled me over. I ain't even like, what's going on?
Do not move.
Officer, please explain. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm in college. I don't know what's going on.